Good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. You are looking at Howard University. Is somebody speaking? Hold on. No, nobody's speaking yet. Kamala Harris is going to be speaking there in 1 hour and 3 minutes. Looks like they're getting the podium ready. That is Howard University. We are showing you live coverage, and Kamala Harris will be giving her concession speech in just 1 hour and 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So we are bringing you live coverage. We're going to give you update on the election as well. Take your comments and questions on the air. At Lookner, you can write to me on X. I appreciate you joining the stream. Yes, Kamala Harris already called Trump, and President Biden has called Trump as well. As you can see here from, actually, hold on a second here. Give me a moment. Give me one moment. As you can see right here, oopsie, you'll see it in a second. I'll show you in a second. Hang on. I got to do one thing real quick here to make this better. Okay, is that better? Okay, yes. As you'll see right here, Biden and Harris call President-elect Trump to congratulate him on win. So we'll talk about that. Please, you don't have to mention the fire in Ventura County. We are covering this right now. If you have news tips, I appreciate news tips. The chat is not for that. Please send me something like that on X. We are covering the concession speech of the person who lost the presidential election. That is what we're covering right now. So I appreciate the news tips, but please just send them to me. Unless it's something that's such an emergency that I'm going to end this stream and cover it on a new stream, please send that to me on X. Thank you. All right, so we have 1 hour until Harris speaks. We're going to get you up to date here. We're going to take your comments and questions. We're going to talk about the election from last night and bring you the latest coverage here. Hold on a second here. Thanks so much to our moderators, by the way. I really appreciate it. We have moderating right now. Ruth Krafasi is moderating. Thank you, Ruth. Carms is moderating. Thank you. Roberts Mayqueen, thank you. Thanks to Linda Belk and Larry who mod for us. Thanks also to Big Ball of Yarn, Good Luck Duck. I got that fire in Surly Dev, thank you. Over on Twitch and on Facebook. Hang on. One moment here. I can't play the sound yet because they're playing music. They are playing music there, which I cannot play. So I don't have the sound on yet. Thank to our moderators on Facebook, Beth Shepard, Margaret Riley. Really appreciate you being there. All right, let me, and real quick, thanks to, for our members on YouTube, Annie L. and Carms, and Dimi Dumangji, and Ben Feller, and Road Less Traveled, and PZ Papa Zulu for the gift memberships. Thank you. And Carl Carlson. Thanks so much, Carl, for watching. I think Carl might be in Iceland. Well, let's talk about, first of all, what we know about Biden and Harris speaking to Trump. You can see here, AP reports, Biden and Harris call President-elect Trump to congratulate him on win. AP says, Republican Donald Trump, well, hold on. Biden calls to congratulate Trump. President Biden has called President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his election victory and to invite him to the White House to discuss the transition. The White House said staff would coordinate a date in the near future. Biden plans to address the nation on the election results. Hey, Biden plans to address the nation on the election results, which will have sharp implications for his legacy on Thursday. I don't know about that. I mean, he didn't run. But Biden also spoke with Vice President Harris to congratulate her on her campaign. So Biden is going to speak. Biden's going to address the nation at some point. Actually, I'm going to post that real quick. About, it deserves its own post. All right. Let me take some comments by you. Oh, let me just get you something on Harris calling him as well. So Biden called him. And AP says Harris called Trump on Wednesday to congratulate him on election victory. Vice President Harris called Trump on Wednesday to congratulate him on his election victory, a senior Harris aide said. The person spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the call. The aide said Harris discussed the importance of a peaceful transfer of power with Trump ahead of her planned concession speech today. This will be in 53 minutes. I don't know if Tim Walz is going to speak. I haven't heard that he's going to speak, but maybe Tim Walz will speak as well. Bobby Bottoms thinks Biden would have performed much better. We did a poll last night during the broadcast, and 80% of the viewers thought that Biden would not have done better. Papa Sierra says the system works, the people have spoken. Space Fraggle says we can see all the promises Trump made that he won't do. Our viewer, Uncredible, thinks Biden would have done the same as Harris did. Hey, thanks, Isaac Kitchens. I appreciate that, Isaac Kitchens. That's very kind of you. So you're looking at Howard University. We are going to see Harris speak live. And we are bringing you live coverage. Oh, want to look at the election map? You guys want to check out the election map? Let's look at the election map. Why don't we do this for a second? Oh my gosh, it's our election map. Oh no, that's 2020. Here's 2024. It's the 2024 election map. Trump currently with 294 electoral votes. He's expected to get more. This is the Reuters map. So Arizona is 63% counted, and Trump is winning, but it's not called yet. He's winning by 4.7%. Nevada is 93% counted. He is winning by 5%. And then Maine, they haven't called Maine on this map. I believe Trump is supposed to get one electoral vote because of winning one of the two congressional districts. I think AP already gave him one for that, but I don't think Reuters has given him one for that. Yeah, Maine, they're all empty here. But those are the three states. Has Alaska been called on this? Yes. The three states on this map that haven't been called are Nevada, where Trump is leading, and Nevada, where he's leading by about 5%, Arizona, where he's leading by 4.7% with 64% of the vote in, and Nevada, 93% of the vote is in. And in Maine, Harris is winning in Maine by 9% with 89% of the votes in. So it looks like he'll get 11, 17, 8. By my count, he'll get 312. Am I right? 11 from Arizona, 6 from Nevada, and 1 from Maine. That would be 312. Maybe after Harris speaks, we'll look at the maps more. I have the 2020 map. There's the 2020 map. So we can go back and forth. In 2020, it was 306 Biden, 232 Trump. Oh, popular vote right now is Trump 50.9%, Harris 47.4% so far. I think that's supposed to get closer. The New York Times said last night they thought he would only be winning by 1.5%. Like California is only 58% counted, so she'll catch up some there. But he's expected to win the popular vote. Oh, control over the House. I should mention that too. Senate, right now, officially on this map, Republicans take control of the Senate. They have 52 right now. They need 50 because they have the tiebreaker, the vice president. But if you look down here, Nevada race has not been called yet. Nevada is very close. It's 6,000 votes in Nevada. So we don't know how that's going to play out. Right now, it's 6,000 votes. Sam Brown, the Republican, is winning there by 6,000 votes over Jackie Rosen, the incumbent. In Pennsylvania, that's also very close. It's 32,000 votes with 97% of the votes counted. Dave McCormick is currently leading there. So we'll have to see how those two play out. And then in Michigan, Alyssa Slotkin, the Democrat, is winning by 16,000 votes with a bit more vote to go. And then in Arizona, Ruben Gallego is winning right now by 2.7% over Kari Lake. So these four races have not been called yet. And then did they not call Maine yet, even though Angus King is winning by a lot, independent? But I think he usually caucuses with the Democrats. Anyways, so looks like they might get a couple more seats, the Republicans, for the Senate. And then the House, so you need 218 for a majority in the House. Right now, it's 207 Republican. Dave Wasserman, who is a very respected elections analyst, he posted a short while ago, and he said that he thought, when all was said and done, he thought there would be around 221 House members for the Republicans. That's what Dave Wasserman thinks. He thinks the Republicans will have 221. You need 218 for a majority. If we go down here, we can see some of the uncalled races. So the uncalled races are everything in light color here. So these here, these here, these here, this. So for example, you can see like this is an uncalled race where the Republican is winning by like 800 votes with 99% in Iowa. Some of these have a lot. I mean, this in California is a race with only 48% of the votes counted. But Dave Wasserman, who's an elections analyst, thinks that it's going to be 221 Republican when all is said and done. But a number of these races have not been called yet. Give me one moment. Give me one moment here. Hey, thanks so much to Jacob Jones, our member. Thanks to Sebastian Lee, who asked about votes for 2020. Well, all the votes are not in yet in this race. A lot of votes haven't been counted yet. So right now there are 138 million total votes, but that number is going to go up. It was 155 million in 2020. Hang on one second here. I don't know what the exact number of votes is going to be, though. But there's a bunch more votes to be counted. I mean, for example, in California, they've only counted about half their vote. Thanks to Jacob Jones, our member, and thanks again, Sebastian Lee. Thanks, Carl Carlson. Did Trump promise to end the war in Ukraine in 2 days? He has said before he would end the war in Ukraine fast, I believe, or that he could do it. I'd have to go back to the exact quotes, but we'll have to see what he says in the next couple months before he takes office. Thank you, Carl Carlson. And then what he does. Thank you, Brian771, who says the blue wall collapsed. Thank you, Isaac Kitchens, as well. And Marnie for the gift memberships. And Clean937 Samuel. You're looking at the scene at Howard University. In 43 minutes, Kamala Harris will speak. She did not speak last night. She is going to speak today. There is the stage right there at Howard in Washington, D.C. They were hoping that this would be a victory stage, a stage for a victory speech, but it is now going to be a concession speech. Leafy says, I do wonder if America will ever elect a woman as president. John L. says Trump said they would have it done before January 20th. I don't know all of his quotes on the Ukraine war, so I can't confirm that. Inauguration Day is just to make sure, I think it's January 20th. Let's see. Wikipedia says between 73 and 79 days after the presidential election, the president-elect is inaugurated. Oh, USA.gov says Inauguration Day occurs every 4 years on January 20th or January 21st if January 20th falls on a Sunday. But January 20th is not on a Sunday, it's on a Monday. So it'll be Monday, January 20th. I assume they're still playing music here. Let me just make sure. Yeah, they're still playing music there, so we can't play the sound. Ann Fitzgerald says, I'm interested to see how Kamala continues her career path from here. Thanks so much to our new member, John Middleton. Thank you to MetaGuide. I appreciate your support, MetaGuide. Contau Creek said, I knew he would win. Yeah, you know, GP Mech, I noticed that. GP Mech said, no vice presidential seal on the podium. I noticed that. I don't know if they'll put one on. I mean, I pretty much remember her speaking with a vice presidential seal. So, I mean, I guess in theory you could speak without one if you were doing it in your capacity as like a private citizen candidate. But I mean, previously she made speeches with the vice presidential seal. So I don't know what the deal with that is. Maybe they'll put it on. I don't. It's a good question. Sharon F. says, I feel like Kamala should have addressed her supporters that came out to see her yesterday. Biden is speaking tomorrow. Biden's going to address the nation tomorrow. Hey, they're adjusting the flag. They're adjusting the flag. Let me just check and see if I have any updates for you here. Afterwards, we'll talk about some of the election stuff and the map and stuff. The AP has called the Michigan Senate race for the Democrat Alyssa Slotkin, just so you know. That was a very close race. So if we go to our election map, AP just called this. So if we go to Senate, they haven't even filled it in on this map yet. But AP just called this race. You can see Alyssa Slotkin ahead by 16,000 votes. But AP has now called that race for Alyssa Slotkin. Now, you might say, what does it matter? The Republicans have the majority. Well, look, first of all, in a couple of years, there will be more Senate seats up for, elections. So every Senate seat now that the Democrats or Republicans have is one more they have for the next election, and makes it easier for them to get a majority in the next election. Also, though, remember, the smaller the Republican majority in the Senate, the fewer senators they can lose on a vote. So if you have a bigger majority, it allows you to have some defectors in your party and still be able to pass legislation. Every seat matters. But that AP just called that race for Alyssa Slotkin in Michigan. There is the scene there at Howard University. There's a bit of a wider shot there at Howard University that you can see. There is the podium. Couple of our viewers mentioned this. I'm not really keeping up with German politics lately, but the Germany three-party ruling coalition collapsed today. And Politico says that it is increasingly likely that there will be new elections in Germany potentially in early March. Just passing that along. But I don't keep up with German politics, so I can't really give you good perspective on that. Hey, I'm going to ask a poll question. Will Tim Walz speak today? Will Tim Walz speak at this event? That's our poll question. Will Tim Walz speak at this event? I have no idea. Maybe you've read it somewhere about whether he'll be there. But I didn't, so I'm going to ask the poll question. I just asked it. You guys can post your answer on the poll in the chat on Twitch and YouTube. I'll show you what people are saying here. Over on YouTube, uh, 81% of you say no on YouTube. And then on Twitch, is that because you know or because you're just guessing? Or you're just, I mean, maybe there was some news story about it and I just missed it. But I'm asking that question from a place of not knowing at all. Our Twitch viewers, 82% say no. Really? That many people say no? I was kind of thinking maybe he would. I mean, because he was the VP nominee, but maybe the focus is on Harris, so he doesn't speak. Maybe he'll at least be there. Let me just make sure. Is anybody speaking now? No, she's probably helping prep or something. Still music playing. All right, so most of you think Tim Walz will not speak there. One of our viewers said, I think they would have announced if he was going to speak. One of our viewers thinks Josh Shapiro would have made a much better pick than him. Thank you to Long Range Precision Shooting for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Also, thanks so much to Johnny Krosky. Hey, Johnny, that's really nice of you. Thanks, Johnny, for your support. Thanks to you guys for voting in our poll there, everyone who voted. Let me just do this real quick. Let's shout. Oh, thanks, Diglet with Hat. Thanks so much. That's really nice of you. Thanks for the bits, Diglet with Hat on Twitch. Thank you also, Mark IFC on Twitch for subscribing. Thanks, Beanman25 for subscribing. Thanks, C50 Pack for subscribing on Twitch. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, let's shout out our moderators again. They are awesome. I really appreciate them here in the chat. A Moment of Lovely, Big Ball of Yarn, DeBears, Good Luck Duck, I Got That Fire, and Surly Dev over there on Twitch. Margaret Riley on Facebook. Thank you, Margaret, for moderating there. Much appreciated. Beth Shepard. Ronald Egnor. Thank you, Ronald. Our YouTube moderators, Carm, Sabrina, Ruth Krafasi, thank you so much for being there. Linda Belk and Larry as well on X. And thank you, Adi Chevris. Thanks, Adi. That's so nice of you for your support. And Sweets Clifton. I've heard about the 25th Amendment, Kamala using this. I have to confess, Sweets Clifton, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I've not heard a single thing about such a thing. So I don't know what you're referring to. I see one thing. I don't know that I really want to get into this right now. Oh, that's an amendment about presidential disability and succession. Yeah, that's like if the president cannot fulfill his duties. It's part of the Constitution, and it says whenever the vice president and a majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other bodies of Congress may by law provide, transmit to the president pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. Nobody's going to do that. That's like if the president. Imagine the president like falls in the shower and they can't even remember their own name. At that point, you might say, wow, that person cannot fulfill the duties of their office. They don't even know who they are. And then at that point, this like provides a mechanism by which those duties can be taken over. If the president's unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. Whatever you think of Biden, it's not the case that like he literally can't discharge the duties of his office in the way that this amendment is written for. So that's not going to happen. That's not what this amendment is about. Oh, thank you, Sweets Clifton. Yeah, the whole thing with I think the 25th Amendment gets used in a lot of like political talking points, but it's not. There's no use of it on the horizon right now. You can read about it if you go to like Wikipedia and you look up 25th Amendment to the United States Constitution. You can actually read about it. Read all about it. Thank you so much, Sweets Clifton. Thank you also, Stephen McCaffrey. Stephen seems to suggest that there are like betting lines on the speech. I haven't seen that, but there might be. Or maybe Stephen is just suggesting his betting lines. Like Stephen thinks the over-under would be 16 minutes. It is a good question. How long will the speech be? Maybe we'll do a little poll question. We're going to do a poll question about how long will Harris speak for. I'm giving you 3 choices: 1 to 5 minutes, 6 to 10 minutes, or longer. And you can vote. Hey, thanks History with Germ for your support. So nice of you. Big Duke Daddy just gave 20 people memberships in the chat. That is really nice of Big Duke Daddy. Make sure you thank Big Duke Daddy if you got a gift membership from Big Duke Daddy. Or if anybody else gave you a gift membership or a gift subscription. Carl Carlson gave 10 people membership. So nice of you, Carl. Thank you, Carl, from Iceland. Let's see what our viewers said about how long Harris is going to speak for. In 24 minutes. She's speaking in 24 minutes. YouTube, 1 to 5 minutes, 41%. 6 to 10 minutes, 43%. 11 minutes or more, 16%. Let's check out Twitch now. Twitch, 1 to 5 minutes, 25%. 8 to 10, 6 to 10 minutes, 57%. 11 minutes or more, 18%. So, but now 1 to 5 minutes is winning on YouTube. Jordan thinks 6 to 10 is a good guess. Yes, Harris and Biden have both called President Trump. Harris and Biden have both called President-elect Trump, as I'll show you in a second. All right, we're going to wrap up the poll in a moment. Give it another minute. Let me move this down here. See, look. Well, why couldn't you see that? Oh, I see. Biden and Harris call President-elect Trump to congratulate him on win. Not together. I believe they called him at separate times. That's from AP. Beth D said, love to hear that phone conversation. All right, so YouTube thinks 1 to 5 minutes. Well, the plurality of people do. 45%, whereas Twitch, 55% say 6 to 10 minutes. All right, we're wrapping up that poll. Thanks so much, HomeAwares, for the gift memberships. That's very nice of you, HomeAwares. Thank you. About 21 minutes until the speech. I wonder if there'll be any kind of advance notice on what exactly she's going to say. You know, sometimes you have a thing where maybe like her office would, her aides will leak something out about, you know, about what she's going to say. I don't know if we're going to have that today. Sometimes that happens with politicians, is you get something sent out beforehand to the press. Give me one moment here. Uh, 19 minutes. 19 minutes, going to take some of your comments on the air. Kamala Harris is going to be speaking. She's going to be giving her concession speech. Her first words, public words, since the election. Please keep it respectful in the chat. I appreciate you keeping it respectful and civil. One moment here. Caden Hare says no one looks happy. Well, I think that's understandable if they wanted her to win. Give me one moment here. Give me one moment, please. Give me just one moment, please. You can reach me on X at Lookner on X. Give me 1 second here. Another question I have is, when might we hear something more from Trump about his transition plans? I had heard a report that he might do another rally soon. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Also trying to keep an eye on the fire in Ventura County, California. There's a fire burning there. It's been burning there during the day. The mountain fire. But for the moment, we are covering this right now. Angel Mendez said, there is smoke over my house. Thank you to Muted Nyan for your support. Nick Reels for your support. Thank you, Nick. And Mufasa, who says, not a Trump guy. Hopefully he delivers on the economy. "14 minutes and 30 seconds until she speaks." Sorry, I was just trying to check up on a couple things, and also including that fire. So I'm keeping an eye on the fire in Ventura County, the news coming out of there. Sorry for the interruption. Just trying to keep an eye on a couple things. All right, let me get back to this. There's another story today, which is special counsel evaluating how to wind down 2 federal cases against Trump after presidential win, says AP. Special counsel Jack Smith is evaluating how to wind down the 2 federal cases against Trump before he takes office in light of long-standing Justice Department policy that says sitting presidents cannot be prosecuted, a person familiar with the matter said. The special prosecutor charged Trump last year with plotting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election and illegally hoarding classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. But Trump's election defeat of Kamala Harris means that the Justice Department believes he can no longer face prosecution in accordance with decades-old department legal opinions meant to shield sitting presidents from criminal charges while in office. Another news item from last night. Oh, hold on a second. I have a different shot that I want to show you. I actually have 2 shots of the speech. Let me do this. Give me one moment here. What I want to do is one moment, please. I'm going to put something else. I have a second shot I can show you, a second angle. So I might as well get both angles up there. It's the same thing. It's just a second angle. Ooh, what happened here? Where should I put this? Right there? Okay. So that's the AFP shot, and the big one is the Reuters one. So I figured I might as well have both shots up there for you. Hey, thanks to Mitchell Black for your support. Really appreciate it. Isaac Kitchen says, what happens with the sentencing on November 26th? Well, that's still happening. But let me try to get you an update on that. Actually, let me see. Yeah. So Reuters says that Trump's unique role as president makes it unlikely he will face legal consequences during his term in office for the New York hush money case, but it wasn't really a hush money case, but the New York, I believe it was financial document fraud case is what it was. In New York, Trump's lawyers are expected to ask Justice Juan Merchan to delay his sentencing, which is currently scheduled. Oh, hold on a second. Is somebody actually saying something? No. Reuters says in New York, Trump's lawyers are expected to ask Justice Juan Merchan to delay Trump's sentencing, which is currently scheduled for November 26th, at which he could face up to 4 years in prison, but I don't know that he would get time for what he did. for that. I don't know, though. Sentencing a president-elect ahead of inauguration day would be unprecedented in U.S. history, and legal experts expect the hearing to be delayed. Well, there you go. Legal experts expect the hearing to be delayed. Merchan has already twice postponed Trump's sentencing, which was initially scheduled for July 11th, in part due to a Supreme Court ruling finding that presidents have broad immunity from prosecution over their official acts. Trump argues the case should be dismissed based on the ruling, which prosecutors dispute. Trump has also vowed to appeal his conviction once he is sentenced. So again, Reuters says that legal experts expect his sentencing in the New York case will be delayed. The audio is cutting out. Is there an issue with the audio? Oh, a little lag with the YouTube issue. I bet it's not lagging elsewhere. Here. What just happened? Are we still live? Are we still live? What happened to the Facebook stream? Something happened with the Facebook stream now. I don't know what's going on. Why are we lagging so much? Yeah, give it a moment. Give it a moment. Are we back? Are we back? Are we better? Something happened briefly. We're good now? There was a blip or something. People are saying it's fixed. I don't want to mess with anything. All right. Anyways, let's hope that doesn't happen again. It was very weird because nothing seemed to be wrong on my end. So I don't really know what was happening right then. Let's hope we're okay though. I assume we'll be okay. All right, everybody's saying it's fine now. Please refresh if there's an issue. I'm sorry about that. Is it happening again? Let's see. Yeah, everything, I mean, as far as I can tell, everything is fine on my end. I'm not getting any error messages on my end. So I don't know if there's like a weird thing with the platform or platforms. Mary says, I've had a few issues today with internet. Yeah, refresh the stream if you're having a problem. Down detector. I'm noticing on down detector, there was a recent problems on Amazon with down detector and 2K. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. It's like laggy. There's nothing I can do right now on my end. Fine for an hour. And now there's like weird issues. I'm seeing some reports on down detector of issues. I'm sorry, but there's literally nothing I can do. There's no audio? Horse Whisperer says YouTube has been lagging for me on other Windows as well. Something here. There's no audio? Oh, I can hear myself. I can hear myself. So the sound is working. All right, she's supposed to come out in a minute. So let's just hope this works. Let's hope this works. She is supposed to come out in 1 minute. Again, I'm sorry about that. I'm not getting any kind of error messages on my end about the stream. So coming out of my computer, it's fine. Oh, Nancy Pelosi is there. Nancy Pelosi is in the house. There's Nancy Pelosi, look. Are we going to hear something? No, there's music. You can see Nancy Pelosi there in the lower left. Thank you for being here in our live stream. Thank you to all of our moderators. We are waiting for Kamala Harris. Oh, you know what? The clock already went to 0. So Kamala Harris speaks at any moment. There you go. Kamala Harris to speak at any moment. Hold on. Now I go. Let me just fix it over here. Move. Guys, there's literally nothing I can do on my end. There's nothing, I mean, everything, I'm not getting any error messages here. So there's nothing I can do about the stream. I think there's like maybe a YouTube issue or something, because on my end, I'm not getting any error messages or anything. How is the stream over on Twitch? How is the stream on Twitch? Oh, some people are coming out. Yeah, the stream is perfect on Twitch. People are saying the stream is perfect on Twitch. It's the exact same stream. There's no difference. People are saying no issues on Twitch. So it sounds like it's a YouTube issue because everybody watching on Twitch, it's literally the exact same stream I'm sending out. So I think there might be a YouTube issue. They put the vice presidential seal on the podium. You know what? I'll say this. YouTube might have an issue with being overloaded. Last night during the election, there was some stuff on YouTube that was not working last night during the election. I remember that because I couldn't even get to like my YouTube studio page last night during the election. But again, it's the same stream being sent to both Twitch and YouTube, and people on Twitch are like, it's totally fine here. Thank you, Marcus Peterson, for your support. Oh, people said the stream on X is fine too. Go back. I really apologize. I really appreciate you guys watching the channel, and it drives me crazy when you tune in and something is not right with the stream. Hey, thanks to Drexy TV for the gift subs on Twitch. I appreciate that. Also, Mark LFC for subscribing on. Come out and speak. She's 5 minutes late. This is her concession speech after the sizable Trump victory last night. Yaya thinks she'll wait another 15 minutes. Hold on a second here. All right, I think she's about to come out. I think she's about to come out. Thank you, Red Squirrel, for your support. Universities her. What will? Thank you, Gabe. Her there, Nancy Pelosi. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There seems to be a YouTube issue. Twitch is stream still fine on Twitch? The stream is perfect on Twitch. It's the exact same stream. I don't know what's going on with YouTube today, because it's literally the same. It's literally the same stream on Twitch that's going to YouTube, and it's perfect on Twitch. Everybody in the Twitch says that the stream is perfect. No problems with it on Twitch. It's the exact same stream. There's no difference. Being sent the exact same way. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube today. I apologize. Cole Doge says Twitch is a beautiful stream, the most pure, the most perfect stream. Thank you to Robin for your support. I really appreciate it, Robin. Thank you. Ex-Monarch, Maddie Ice, thank you. Polly Din, New Jersey, thank you, Polly. Sketty Sandwich. They're getting ready for this. They're getting ready for the speech. I really appreciate you being here for the broadcast. It is 4:10 p.m. Probably a lot of the country is waiting to watch her speak. I think they're still playing music there. Yeah, they're still playing music. I can't play the sound until they stop playing the music. As soon as they stop. Interesting. Chris. Thank you, Higgy025 for subscribing on Twitch, and Sasha22Bubbles for your support on Twitch, and G Puggles for subscribing on Twitch. They're fixing the flag. They're still fixing the flag. They are still fixing the flag. Again, I apologize if anybody on YouTube is having an issue with the stream. It's beyond my control right now. Everything looks fine here. Literally the exact same stream is being sent to Twitch, and people on Twitch say it's perfect there. So there seems to be some kind of YouTube issue a bit today. I don't know if it's because a lot of people are watching this speech on YouTube. So, but I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. And again, literally the exact same stream is perfect on Twitch. Perfect. A viewer just said it's perfect on X. Have to address that later. Oh no, we're live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook. Yeah, perfect on Facebook. Drew said, it's literally YouTube. Our viewers on Facebook say it's perfect there. Our viewers on X say it's perfect there. Our viewers on Twitch say it's perfect there. So I don't know what else I can tell you. It's literally the same stream being sent to all the places. So there's only so much I can do. I'll have to look into it after, but 3 of the 4 platforms it's perfect on. Tracy Martin says, working perfectly on Facebook. Yep, Kay, our moderator Kay says, no glitches on Facebook. Working perfectly. Thanks to Martin Gingrich for your support. Maybe after the speech, we'll take some of your comments about the speech. Maybe we'll talk more about the election itself. Dexter M says it was a perfect stream. Oh, what is he saying? Oh, the music is still playing. 4:15, it is running a little late. It was supposed to be 4. I'll take off the second view on the lower left when she comes out. Will she say anything surprising? I mean, you can imagine her coming out and saying, like, thanks to my supporters, thanks to everybody who voted for me, let's make this a peaceful transition, let's unite, let's have the country unite. That would all be expected. Is she going to say anything unexpected? That I do not know. That's often my question with these kind of things, is will something unexpected President Biden will be addressing the nation tomorrow. We'll have to cover that as well. Again, Vice President Harris and President Biden both called President Trump to congratulate him on his victory, says AP. Probably people around the world watching this speech. Thank you, Back Garden Astronomy. I really appreciate it. Back Garden Astronomy, thank you for your support. Thank you also, Carl Carlson. Will she be sassy or humble? I also was thinking, is she going to be like somber, or is she going to try to be like smiling in a good mood and saying, you know what I'm saying? She can try to, I don't know what her mood is going to be like. I genuinely don't know. You know, in her campaign speeches recently, you know, she's tried to be like really upbeat a lot of the time and smiling. And I don't know if that's, maybe she'll be more serious or somber. Not that she's not serious, but. Thanks, Denise Horton. Will Trump try to pardon himself? I have no idea. I do not know. Thanks, Denise Horton, for being a member. Hey, we have viewers watching from other countries. One of our viewers watching from Australia. There's a guy. Hey, a guy just came out. A guy just. Thank you to Captain Jerry Donnelly. Thank you, Captain Jerry Donnelly. I appreciate that. The country is waiting. The world is waiting. One of our viewers said they're watching from New Zealand. I'm waiting. I want to see what she says. I'm waiting with all you guys to see what she says. One of our viewers says they're in Senegal. That's neat. Thank you, Jackball TV, for being a member. One of our viewers says, where is she? It was supposed to be 4 p.m. Now it is 4:21. Matthias is watching from Sweden. One of our viewers, N, is watching from Lebanon. It is 4:21. Oh, Ken Baird said Fox gave a 5-minute warning. That's what Ken Baird said. Wow, Michael for your YouTube is issues. On Facebook. Literally, it's a there she is. I can't play the music. The music.
Afternoon. You back. Of this hear me. Bright. Give up. David Doug. President the wall. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country, with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence. And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect, by looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor, by always using our strength to lift people up, to fight for the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching, it is, I love you. To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before. You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. Look, many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my career, I saw people at some of the worst times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm and great pain, and yet found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take the stand, to take a stand, to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for others. So let their courage be our inspiration. Let their determination be our charge. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time, but for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service. HU. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
All right, that was Vice President Harris. There she is with her husband. I can't play the music, so I am... hold on a second here. I can't play the music, so we'll watch them walk off. We'll take some of your comments on the air. She said that while she concedes the election, she is not conceding the fight that fuels the campaign. She said that people need to accept the results of the election. Oh, how many minutes did she speak for? One of our viewers said 12 and a half minutes. We were wondering about that. And I greatly apologize as we look at the we look at the scene there. For some reason, well, on YouTube, right around when she was starting to speak, the YouTube broadcast for a couple minutes got all laggy or whatever. I have no idea why. Seems to be fine right now on YouTube. It was perfect on all the other platforms. So I do apologize, but there was nothing I could do about it. Hang on a moment here. Hang on a moment here. There's the crowd still there, milling around. I'd like to get a transcript of the speech. When is Biden speaking? Biden will be speaking on Thursday. Biden will be speaking on Thursday. Tomorrow. He's supposed to speak tomorrow. Here's the other angle there. Here's another angle here from AFP. The Reuters stream ended. The Reuters feed ended. There's people on the AFP stream at the event. Is there still music playing or not? My guess is that there is. Let me see. Let me see if there's still music here. I'm not hearing any sound. Oh, hold on. One moment. Yeah, they're still playing music there. So you're looking at the aftermath there of the speech. We'll let you look at a little bit of this. People leaving the venue. Hey, I got to thank some people, by the way. By the way, quick thanks to Stinky for your support, Anglo Blackson, and appreciate your support for the channel. Oops, hang on. I think after this, we'll talk a little bit about the election. Scraper Base says, from the German perspective, it's strange she speaks as the vice president and even uses the seal, even though she speaks in her capacity as a former presidential candidate. Yeah, I mean, it's this interesting thing where she's the candidate, but she also still is the vice president. So I don't know if there's, I don't know what the tradition on that is, what the usual custom on that is here in the U.S. It's an interesting question. Malnardian says Waltz was not allowed to speak. I mean, I don't know if he wanted to speak, but I thought he might speak. He was there. Hey, Dolores Wilson, thanks for the gift membership. I'm going to let you guys look at this some more. Some of the, again, after her speech, you can see people milling around. Yes, she already gave the speech. Again, she said she concedes the election, but she said she did not concede the fight that fueled the campaign. I can change this so it looks like reads better. Concedes election in speech. Here we go. Are they still playing music or not? Let's see. Oh, I can play the audio. The music has stopped playing. Thank you, DJ Dungeon Master, for your support. And again, I greatly apologize on YouTube at the start. There's Nancy Pelosi. At the start of the stream, we were having a problem with YouTube. Not with the other platforms, just YouTube. Oh, I think that's the end of that. That's the end of that feed there. All right, let's come back to me. Come back to me for a second. Let me fix the headline here. We'll talk a little bit about the election now. Oops, sorry. Gotta get this off. By the way, let me just take my headphones out. I don't need my headphones in right now. We might the broadcast might pause for a second when I take the headphones out. Let me just show you guys the map again. Oopsie, that's not the map. Now you can't see anything. We want to get that away and that away. Where is it now? There it is. There is your presidential election map. Again, the three states on this map that are not called, on this Reuters map, are Maine, Nevada, and Arizona. Trump is winning in Arizona by 4.7. Oops, you can't see that. Trump is winning in Arizona by 4.7%. 63% of votes counted. That is not called. Nevada, Trump is winning by 5% around with 93% of the vote counted. And in Maine, Trump is expected to get one of the 4 electoral votes for winning one of the 2 congressional districts. And then Harris would get 3. So if I'm right by my count, if he wins both of these states, Nevada and Arizona, he would have 312, plus with the one in Maine. And also, in terms of the House race, right now it's 207 Republicans, 188 Democrats. Dave Wasserman, who's a very respected elections analyst, he thinks it's going to end up around 221 Republican. But there's a bunch of races that have not been called yet. You can see down here on the Reuters map. But you have these two races which were solid Republican, which the Republicans are winning in. They have not been called. In this race, which was lean Republican, which the Republicans were winning in, which has not been called. So if you give them those three, then that gets them to 210. And then you have them leading in these competitive races. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if they won all of the races they were leading in, they would get to 222. Dave Wasserman thinks they're going to finish with around 221. So they'd have a majority of about 3, because you need 218 for the majority. Senate, 52 to 44, with also there's a couple more seats to be called. Nevada has not been called. Nevada is very close. Nevada, with 89% of the votes in. Sam Brown, the Republican, is winning by 3,000 votes. Pennsylvania, the Republican, Dave McCormick, is winning by 30,000 votes. And then in Arizona, Ruben Gallego is winning by about 3%, with 63% of the vote in. So those three races have not been called. And the Democrats did manage to win in Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin won, even though Harris lost Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin held that seat. And then in Michigan, Alyssa Slotkin, the Democrat, won, even though Harris lost in Michigan. Alyssa Slotkin, a narrow victory. You can see she's up by 16,000 votes there for that seat. But looks like Republicans are going to have control for the next 2 years of all 3 branches of government. The popular vote, it's expected to get closer, the popular vote. The New York Times had said last night they expect Trump to end up being up by about 1.5 points. Yeah. The New York Times had said they thought that Trump would win by about 1.5%. Right now, he's winning by 3%, 3.5%. Yes, as Red Tank's Trek says, California votes are still coming in right now. California is only 58% counted. By the way, thanks to 2A Steph for your support, and Mitchell Pilot. Mitchell Pilot says, I wonder if first-hand accounts of Biden's mental decline by his staff will start to come out after he leaves office. Look, I don't know, what exactly his status was, so maybe you'll hear more from people there after they leave office. Thank you, Fred Witherow and DJ Dungeon Master, for your support. Yes, Biden's going to speak tomorrow. We'll be covering that tomorrow when Biden speaks. Some interesting things I wanted to point out here. If you look here on the map, just a couple interesting things. Harris won New York by about 11.5%. In 2020, Biden won New York by 23%. That's the 2020 map. See? What a difference. New Jersey. Harris won New Jersey by a little less than 5%. Biden won New Jersey by 16%. Harris won Illinois by 8%. Biden won Illinois by 17%. So even in a number of these states where Harris won, she got way less votes than Biden did. Minnesota, Harris won by 4.2%. Biden won Minnesota by, well, not as much, 7.1%. Harris won Virginia. She's winning by about 5% there. Biden won Virginia by 10%. Oops, you can't see that, 10%. So these are states that Harris won, but she didn't do nearly as well as Biden did. How about New Mexico? New Mexico right now, Harris by 5%. What was New Mexico in 4 years ago? New Mexico, Biden won it by 11%. Let me also see. Let me mention something else here. Give me a moment. I'm going to mention something else for you. Take some comments too. Oh, I got something. I saw something interesting here. He did much better with Trump did well with Latinos compared to some previous Republican elections. I want to show you something about that. Where is this thing I want to show you? I'm looking for something to show you. There's something specific I want to show you. Let's see. So look, this is from Associated Press, election takeaways. So black voters, men and women, have been the bedrock of the Democratic Party, and in recent years, Latinos and young voters have joined them. All these groups still preferred Democrat Kamala Harris, but preliminary data from AP Votecast, a survey of more than 120,000 voters nationwide, suggested that Trump made significant gains. Voters under age 30 represent a fraction of the total electorate, but about half of them supported Harris. That's compared to roughly 6 in 10 who backed Biden in 2020. Slightly more than 4 in 10 young voters went for Trump, up from about 1/3 in 2020. At the same time, Black and Latino voters appeared slightly less likely to support Harris than they were to back Biden 4 years ago, according to AP Votecast. But I've seen surveys that said Latino men supported her more. About 8 in 10 Black voters backed Harris, down from the roughly 9 in 10 who backed Biden. More than half of Hispanic voters supported Harris, but that was down slightly from the roughly 6 in 10 who backed Biden in 2020. There's also certain like local places. So like Steve Kornacki had mentioned. Let me show you this post from Steve Kornacki, where he said, Steve Kornacki said, Allentown, Pennsylvania, 54% Hispanic. 2016, Democrat plus 41. 2024, Democrat plus 23. Hazleton, Pennsylvania, 62% Hispanic. 2016, Democrat plus 5. 2020, Republican plus 11. 2024, Republican plus 25. Yeah, let me show you something. I mean, that AP article was different than some others I've seen about Latino support. Right here, let's see. Look, here's an article right here about it. Reuters article. I'll take some comments in a second. Trump's return to power fueled by Hispanic working class voter support. Hispanic, working class voter support. Reuters says, Donald Trump reshaped the U.S. electorate once again this year, piling up support among Hispanic voters, young people, and Americans without college degrees, and winning more votes in nearly all of the country as he reclaimed the presidency. Trump's increasing strength among working class voters and non-white Americans helped grow his share of the vote almost everywhere. The starkest increase may have been the 14 percentage point swing in Trump's share of Hispanic voters, according to an exit poll conducted by Edison Research. Some 46% of self-identified Hispanic voters picked Trump, up from 32% in the 2020 election when Trump lost to Biden. Hispanics have largely favored Democrats for decades, but Trump's share this year was the highest for a Republican candidate in exit polls going back to the 1970s, and just higher than the 44% share won by Republican George W. Bush in 2024. In counties where more than 20% of voting-age Americans were Hispanic, Trump's margin over Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris improved by 13 points relative to his 2020 performance against Biden. A Republican media strategist who worked on Hispanic outreach for Trump's 2020 campaign said young Hispanics do not have the same muscle memory as their grandparents who voted for Democrats for 50 years. Trump won 55% of Hispanic men, 19 points more than the 36% share he won 4 years earlier, while he garnered support from 38% of Hispanic women, up 8 points from 2020. Trump has made opposition to immigration a cornerstone of his political career, pledging to conduct mass deportations of people living in the U.S. illegally. Many Hispanic voters supported Trump's hardline positions. According to the Edison Research exit poll, about a quarter of Hispanic respondents said most immigrants in the country without documentation should be deported to the countries they came from, compared with 40% of voters overall in the poll. This is based on polling. Take a few comments from you guys on this. By the way, a quick thank you to Alan J. Mackey for your support. Alan J. Mackey thinks Democrats underestimate that African Americans and Hispanics are very religious. Thank you, Alan J. Mackey, for your support. Thank you, Bebop and Rocksteady, for your support. Bebop Rocksteady says, would you consider this a strong national mandate? So the winning candidate or winning party will sometimes say they have a mandate. And by that, they mean, so many people have voted for them that the country wants them to do lots of stuff and make lots of change. Does this count as a mandate? It depends on your definition of mandate. One thing I will point out, though, is ultimately with the popular vote, where is it here? The popular vote is probably going to end up being, about a 1% to 2% difference. So the New York Times said it's going to be like a 1.5% difference. So if 49% of the country votes for Harris, then is that really a mandate for Trump? I don't know. I mean, look, it depends on how you vote, how you define what a mandate is. But one argument somebody could say opposing that is they could say, well, it's going to turn out that almost half the country didn't vote for him, so how is that a mandate? But again, it just depends on what your definition of mandate is. Wikipedia says, in representative democracies, a mandate is a perceived legitimacy to rule through popular support. Now, it depends on the place what counts as a mandate. Parties with strong mandates are free to implement their preferred policies with the understanding they are supported by the people. Sorry, that's the old election result. That's the new one right there. By the way, a quick thanks to Gringo. Oh my gosh, Gringo just gave 70 people memberships. Wow. Our viewer Gringo gave 70 people memberships in the YouTube chat. That is very generous of you, Gringo. Thank you so much. Make sure you thank Gringo if Gringo gave you a membership. That is really kind of you, Gringo. Thank you. Also, thanks to Jim R. for your support. I appreciate that. And Uncle Lester Cam. And 2A Steph, our new member. I want to take some more comments from you guys. Dino Nuggies, Harry the Dog on Twitch, Cabcom13, Slim Fozzie, Jason Voke, Mr. Society, Abot99, Steve462, Westan, Deeproc Plays Old. Thanks for your support on Twitch. Slim Fozzie, Psyops. Sorry, I got behind thanking people on Twitch. By the way, no problem with the YouTube stream right now, right? YouTube stream working perfectly right now? Everybody on YouTube, has there been a problem since the speech ended? Any problems since the speech ended? Any lagging since the speech ended? Right. So, again, I mean, if you just look at the evidence of what happened today, again, I really apologize. When Harris came out to speak today, right before she came out, our YouTube feed started getting really laggy. For like the first couple minutes she was speaking, a lot of people on YouTube couldn't even watch it, which drives me crazy. I feel so bad about it. But I was sending the exact same feed, coming from the same place, to Twitch, to Facebook, and to X, and all of them worked perfectly fine. So I would say that the evidence suggests that there was some sort of thing going on with YouTube where probably a lot of people were tuning into YouTube to watch Harris speak. And, you know, for whatever reason, that seems to me like is what it caused the lagginess. But again, it was perfect on all the other feeds, and it seemed to be fine. Now, look, some people are saying, well, other channels were fine. What can I do about it? I mean, all I can say is that this channel was fine on other platforms. So, you know, I had everything was looking fine on my end, so I do apologize, but that's when it happened, right when she was about to speak. So I do apologize for that, but just so you know, I didn't change anything. Working fine right now. If I knew there's a latency setting I can change for YouTube, which maybe I should put. I mean, normally it doesn't matter and it lets me see the stream, lets me see your comments faster, but maybe next time I cover a big live speech, I'll put the latency on normal or on the lowest, on the highest setting or whatever. But I do apologize for that. I hate, it drives me crazy. I hate when people, come to the channel and then they can't watch the stream. Thank you, Doc Brewski, for your support. Zinkman says, wondering what Israel is thinking of all this. Look, it certainly could change. There's so much to talk about with like foreign relations, how those could change, the changes that Trump could do. Let me see if there's anything I want to show you here. Oh, I haven't even read this yet, but this is interesting. This is from the Washington Post. Republicans see possible path to... No, that's not the one. It's the Supreme Court justices one. Where's the Supreme Court justices? With Trump win, focus turns to older Supreme Court justices. Look at this. Some prominent voices on the left called earlier this year for Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor to retire while Joe Biden was still president, so a Democrat could nominate her replacement regardless of who won the election. Sotomayor, 70, is the oldest liberal justice and has type 1 diabetes. Advocates feared a repeat of what happened with liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who declined to retire during President Obama's tenure and died on the bench in 2020 while Donald Trump was in office. The vacancy allowed Trump to nominate Amy Coney Barrett, cementing a powerful 6-3 conservative supermajority. Now, with Trump set to return to the White House and Republicans poised to take control of the Senate, some Democrats are renewing those calls for Sotomayor to step down during the lame duck period before the presidential inauguration in January. Josh Barrow, author of the Very Serious newsletter, said this could be Democrats' last chance to fill her seat for some time. It's been possible historically to go 12 or 14 years without simultaneous control of the White House and the Senate. After initially losing that control, she could well be into her 80s by the next time she has a good opportunity to retire. So remember, the Senate confirms Supreme Court justices, and the president appoints them. So what this person is saying is that it could be a long time before the Democrats have both the presidency and the Senate. He's saying like right now they have both for the next couple months, so they could, in theory, appoint a younger liberal justice. Also, Trump's victory has inevitably sharpened speculation about what Supreme Court senior justices will do in the months ahead and how the parties might handle any court vacancies. Besides Sotomayor, the two oldest justices are Clarence Thomas, 76, and Samuel Alito, 74. Trump's victory presents an opportunity for one or both of them to retire and allow him to nominate younger conservatives, preserving the supermajority that has dramatically shifted the law to the right on abortion, guns, regulation, and more. It is unclear whether Thomas or Alito would oblige, however. Neither has publicly commented on retiring, and two members of the conservative legal movement, speaking on the condition of anonymity, told the Washington Post it's unlikely either justice would step down during a Trump presidency. Interesting. What do you think about this? Ronan says, I don't want to see Thomas go unless the pick is even more based. Well, I assume if there was a world in which Thomas or Alito stepped down under Trump, there's no news that that's going to happen. Or they did it so that he could nominate someone younger, then presumably they would want to nominate somebody at least as conservative as they are. Carrie Collins says Trump has a chance to seat at least 2 more Supreme Court justices with the House and the Senate. Yeah, the Senate is the one who confirms it. Trump will get his judges and people voted through fast. Dems tried to stop them last time. That's what Carrie Collins says. There's another article here that talks about Republicans see possible path to total control in Washington, from the Washington Post. Dozens of House seats remain too close to call Wednesday, leaving the control of the chamber in question, and Democrats increasingly nervous. It's looking like Republicans are going to take control of the House, are going to keep control of the House. Should Democrats win control of the House, the chamber would serve as the only check on a second Trump administration and a GOP-led Senate. But if the Republicans win, solidifying a trifecta in Washington, Speaker Mike Johnson has promised to launch the most aggressive 100-day agenda of the modern era in close coordination with Trump. Now, there is a thing where, remember, in the Senate, you need 60 votes to overcome a filibuster in the Senate for most legislation. And the Republicans will not have 60 votes. It could take days, if not weeks, to know where things land in the House. Democrats made some significant inroads in New York, but Democratic gains were effectively canceled out by Republican wins in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Some House Republicans expressed surprise at how well they were doing despite their chaotic handling of the majority this term. Democrats were once confident they could flip seats in Iowa and Nebraska, but some now privately concede they are preparing for losses in these districts. The majority now runs through California, which has 5 swing districts that remain toss-ups. Some expressed shock at losses with key demographics that once were seen as sure bets for Democrats like the working class and Latinos. Some of the dust is settling, but this is pretty close to a worst-case scenario, said Representative Jared Huffman, Democrat of California. And if you look here at the House results, it is currently 207 to 188. And you need 218 for a majority. And if Republicans win all the ones that they are leading in, they will have 222. If we go down here on the Reuters map, you can see here, the Republicans are leading in these 2 solid Republican races. Arizona's 8th district, 61% of the votes in. The Republican is up by 11% there. Republican is up by about 2.5% there. Washington's 4th district with about half the vote counted. This lead Republican district in Colorado, the Republican is ahead by 3.3% with 89% of the votes counted. If they win those 3, that gets them to 210, and then they need 8 more for the majority. They are currently ahead, I believe, in, how many is it here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are ahead in these 12 races. This one is in Pennsylvania. They're up by 1.5% with 99% counted, so my guess is they'll win that one. 99% counted here in Iowa's 1st district. They're leading by about 800 votes, but I mean, if it's really 99% counted, my guess is that they might win there. And a bunch of these are less percentage of votes in. This one's 90% in. Ryan Zinke is up by 9% with 90% of the vote in. So that's looking pretty good for them. This one in Nebraska, Don Bacon is up by 3%, 9,000 votes with 95% of the vote in. So some of the, Here's another one. California's this 22nd different district, half the vote is counted, and the Republicans up by 10%. So, anyways, they would just, if they win these 3 here, they just need to win 8 out of these 12 that they're leading in, and they would have 218. As I mentioned, Dave Wasserman, well-respected elections analyst, thinks they're going to end up with around 221. Give me one moment here. Barack and Michelle Obama released a statement. Barack and Michelle Obama have released a statement about the presidential election. Over the last few weeks and through Election Day, millions of Americans cast their votes, not just for president, but for leaders at every level. Now the results are in, and we want to congratulate President Trump and Senator Vance on their victory. This is obviously not the outcome we hoped for, given our profound disagreements with the Republican ticket on a whole host of issues, but living in a democracy is about recognizing that our point of view won't always win out and being willing to accept the peaceful transfer of power. Michelle and I could not be prouder of Vice President Harris and Governor Walz, 2 extraordinary public servants who ran a remarkable campaign. And we will always be grateful to the staff and volunteers who poured their heart and soul into electing public servants that they truly believed in. As I said on the campaign trail, America has been through a lot over the last few years, from a historic pandemic and price hikes resulting from the pandemic to rapid change and the feeling a lot of folks have that no matter how hard they work, treading water is the best they can do. Those conditions have created headwinds for Democratic incumbents around the world, and last night showed America is not immune. The good news is that these problems are solvable, but only if we listen to each other and only if we abide by the core constitutional principles and democratic norms that made the country great. In a country as big and diverse as ours, we won't always see eye to eye on everything, but progress requires us to extend good faith and grace even to people with whom we deeply disagree. That's how we've come this far, and it's how we'll keep building a country that is more fair and more just, more equal and more free. That is from Mr. Barack and Michelle Obama. By the way, thank you, Lisa Sutz, for your support. I appreciate it, Lisa Sutz. And Doc Brewski. Oh, thanks Crisis B for mentioning this. B&O News Live said Police say an unidentified shooter is targeting cars on I-40 in Wake County, North Carolina. 2 cars were hit on Monday, 4 more today, no injuries. Wow. I hadn't heard the details on that. Walrus says Kentucky all over again. Maybe I can find some more information on that. There's WRAL says police said there are 6 incidents in total. Wow. I might have to cover that at some point. I might cover that at some point. But sorry, I'm just checking a couple other things here. Kim says, I am so glad this election time is over. I think what I might want to do is, hang on a moment here. By the way, thank you to Constance Price for your support. I really appreciate that, Constance Price. Thank you. CC Truck says no more election ads. Yay. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do right now is, so Biden is speaking tomorrow. I think what I want to do right now is wrap up this stream. If you missed the speech, we had it on earlier. If I don't know if it'll work on YouTube to rewind, because YouTube was acting funky, but it's on our other platforms too. You can see it there. And we might do some more coverage a little later today of some other news going on, but I got to get off the air and look at that stuff. So, so I really appreciate you being here for this live stream. And I will kind of just wrap it up kind of quickly here. This is Agenda Free TV. Subscribe and follow the channel. We cover all kinds of live breaking news, Agenda Free TV. Turn the notifications on. We have a notification system that you can use to get to find out whenever we go live. It's free. It's a free notification system. The mods will post the link in the chat. You can find the link in our description on YouTube and Facebook as well. And you can follow me on X, at Lookner on X. I will post news updates on my X account, at Lookner. So follow me over there. I really do appreciate you watching the channel and choosing the channel. Big apology to people on YouTube for the weird YouTube stuff going on today when she came out and speak and the lag and everything. It seemed like it was a YouTube issue, so I do apologize for that. And I really appreciate our moderators who are incredible. They are always here in our chats, keeping things civil and respectful, such as Beth Mythical, Misunderstood, and all of our other YouTube moderators who have been there, thank you. Linda Belk and Larry on X. Our Twitch moderators, like A Moment of Lovely, Big Ball of Yarn, Good Luck Duck, LB Paradon, I Got That Fire, and Surly Dev. Our Facebook moderators, Raven Lynn, Charlotte Webb, Paul Anderson, Ronald Egnor, K. Lowry Body, all of our moderators over there, thank you. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who donated. That is super nice of you guys. A lot of very generous support today. I think I thanked everybody. Let me make sure I thanked everybody on Twitch. I think I got everybody. Thank you. But you are the ones who let this channel exist with your support and let me get footage and all that stuff. So thank you. If you ever want to donate to the channel, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. I am planning on covering when Biden speaks tomorrow, addresses the nation about the election. Planning on covering that. Maybe more coverage later today of something else. Follow us on X. Follow Agenda Free TV on X at Agenda Free TV. And we do have a, I'll post updates about the channel there. I post when we're going live there, scheduling updates and stuff. We do have a chat. You can chat with other viewers when we're not on the air. It's the same link as the notifications link. It's a free chat on Discord, so check out our Discord chat. And also, I just want to shout out our subscribers on Twitch, like A Moment of Lovely, A Night Owl, Jack's Animals, Wall Street, Shaggy, Hectate. Thanks for letting me read your guys' comments on the air and sending in comments today and questions. I really appreciate that. And news updates. Sketty Sandwich, thanks for subscribing over there on Twitch, Night Owl, Vibrex, and all of our other subscribers over there, Yellow1177, Mr. Society, Jason Voke, AI Bot, Steve462, Harry the Dog, and others. On Facebook, our subscribers over there, big thanks, Diane Allworth, Margaret Riley, Eve Richards, Beth Shepard, Robert Rial II, Michael Clayton, and all of our other Twitch subscribers, and our YouTube members, such as, and thanks again, Gringo, for all those memberships and everybody else who donated and gave memberships. I really appreciate that. Eric Johnson, Brent Eastlick, Brent Neslick, thanks for being a member. JD63, Naomi Nocturnal, Lidwine Elizabeth, UV Lightning, Rick D, Star Child, Jesse's Girl, Fred Flintstone, Robert T, Ronan, Ronald Kame, Todd USA, Winding Road, Colleen Taipon, Ann Burns, John Flick, NY Committee, Ronin, Beam Me Up, and all of our other YouTube members and all of our other viewers. Really appreciate you watching. So I'm wrapping up the stream. We might have more news later today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.